Hello and welcome to the last word on Spurs. We do hope you're keeping very, very safe and well. Thank you so much for joining us as we bring to you instant reaction of Tottenham Hotspur beating Burnley by 5-2 at Turf Moor in, you've got to say, a resounding result for Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham. Sonny bagging a hat-trick, Maddison and Romero again amongst the scorers. There's also 2 assists from Solomon on his first Premier League start. Is really part of a brilliant display for Ange Postecoglou's Spurs and to enter the international break in style and unbeaten. So what did you make of that victory up at Turf Moor earlier today?
We are massive. I mean, it's a tough place to go in it, to be fair. Turf Moor, on a sunny afternoon on a Saturday. You've heard it all before. It was magnificent, genuinely magnificent. I think the first 20 minutes, if we're not going to get too carried away, I think the first 20 minutes were quite tough. We've got to start to look at coming into games, whether or not it's the first half or the second half. We said it on the WhatsApp group earlier. We started like this against Brentford. We had a spell against Brentford, where we were a bit ropey for 15, 20 minutes. We had a spell against Bournemouth where we were a bit ropey for 15, 20 minutes. And we've had a spell against Manchester United in the first half, again, probably first 20 minutes or so. And then again today. So, look, I understand. Don't get me wrong, I understand it's work in progress. Obviously, I've got patience, but I have to say, after 20 minutes, I thought we were absolutely magnificent. We got to grips with what they were trying to do tactically, and I thought that was really important. And I think some of the pockets of space that Maddison was picking up was just brilliant. I thought a doggy. I mean, the emoji that's got the smoke coming out of its mouth. That. I mean, just a doggy. Honestly, mate, is just. I'm in love with him. I'm in love with the goalkeeper. I'm falling in love with his team. It reminds me so much of, when we had a real young, hungry team where we didn't know where we were going to get to under the likes of Maurizio, back in 2014, 2015, and how quick things can turn around. You've got to remember that, after we sold Bale, we had an absolute shocking season. We had the Sherwood situation with the debacle. We had players like Adebayor, Soldado. Poch came in that 2014 season. I think it was in October, was it, against Villa, where Kane scored that dodgy free kick. It's the only one I think he scored. We went on a bit of a run. We got to a League Cup final. But after that, we had a title challenge. So there's, anything is possible. And I think what Ange Postecoglou's doing, I was very critical of Ange. I still loved Ange. I've said that on Sky and all of the media outlets that we've been on during the week. Still love Ange and what he's doing. But I was critical of him for making 9 changes. And I think that showed today. I mean, if we'd have played that team today against Fulham in the week, we turned Fulham over. But look, that's gone. Today's about today. And I thought we're magnificent for what?
Just magnificent, Rick, and more than anything, just a joy to watch after everything we've gone through. Just the sheer joy of watching us knock that about today. It's funny how things change so quickly in football. I mean, 2-3 years ago, that could have been a Sean Dyche team versus like a Mourinho or a Conte team, wouldn't it? And that would have been an absolute awful clogfest. And today we got served up 7 goals with both teams at least trying to play a bit of football. So look, we come out the victors from it, but we just look so assured. It's nice. We're learning with every game more and more about Ange and Ange Ball and philosophies and what he's trying to introduce. And today I noticed that when we went 1 down, we would have got rattled for a good 10-15 minutes after. We'd have been giving the ball away. There'd have been shaky performances, but they settled, they went again. They just carried on doing what they was doing.
I think it's really worth noting that all of Spurs' 5 goals have come from that new leadership team, both captain and vice captains. And you also, again, take into account now he's equalled the most amount of points Postecoglou and manager has amassed in the first 4 Premier League games in charge of Tottenham, 10, also set by Harry Redknapp, Tim Sherwood, and Antonio Conte. And near on, absolute perfect start. What did you make of today, Vas, overall, and that performance?
I'll tell you what, Ricky, after the first 4 minutes, I thought I'm never coming on your show ever again. Because I'm thinking, if we lose this one again, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with last word on Spurs. Some people might be happy about that, but some may not, hopefully. But yeah, I think it took us a little while to get into the game. I thought like Lee said earlier on, it took us like 15 minutes to get to grips with certain things. It's a hat trick at the end of the day. He looked confident in front of goal. He was angry with himself on a couple of occasions when he got played in and he had a poor touch. He could have added to his tally today. And it's good to see. And it also was good to see because, we know Richarlison's having his struggles in that role, but we looked so much better with Son playing the 9 essentially, and we did last week. Was it last week? And he came on when Richarlison went off and he took that position. I think we look better with Son there. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, the hat trick is going to give him lots of confidence.
Are you confident that Son will now carry on this form for the upcoming games when we do return from that international break?
Yeah, because he's a class player, Rick. And as Vaz rightly pointed out, he was carrying an injury. I think he had a bit of sort of family turmoil where his grandfather very sadly passed away. And, with South Korean and Asian families, the head of the family is the head of the family, So, there was a lot going on for him. But obviously that's now been and gone, and the injuries had the op, and we've played him through the middle today. This is something we said when Richarlison wasn't quite cutting the mustard. Put him through the middle and see what he can do. But and we saw that today. We got 3 very different types of goal. I mean, the first one was absolutely sublime. You have to be a class. The little dink was just unbelievable.
So
good. Brilliant. You've got to be a real calm, classy, thinking about it, switched on footballer to go. 999 out of 1,000 people that kick a ball about on a Sunday would just lever that. Absolutely lever it Saturday, Sunday morning. That's what makes the difference. He's got into that position and he's managed to go, let me just give this a little dink. Here we go. And it's in. He sent a pair of them out to pay to come back in, didn't they? The defender and Trafford in goal. Honestly, it was sublime. So playing him through the middle, fantastic. And yeah, he never really went. He was just a bit other things going on with him. But captain, you can see how seriously he's taken that. Again, he's taken the weight of it and he's run with it. And unbelievable. There'll be games where he doesn't do so well when we come up against some stiffer opposition. But be under no doubt, he is a class footballer. Sonny always has been and he always will be, So, loving him through the middle there.